Want some help? Can you see it now? Is there one in there?
Where's the mouse, Dan? Where's the mouse?
He's gonna be covered.
It's gonna be a good day. Radar's gonna get it back later. Oh, Dan, this is fun.
All right, good morning, YouTube. Oh, get you out of the sun. Here we go. Okay, it's been a bit since we've been out and about doing a lot of work. The weather has not been cooperating with us very well. So where are we at? We are trying to get ready for the second pour of the upstairs. And so to that end, we're trying to button everything up. We're gonna get the garage, first 3 blocks of the garage wall. We got them laid out, but they're not level and they're not glued down, so they're just kind of sitting there, which they've lasted, you know, all winter like that, so that's good. So we gotta get that glued down today and like attached, like right there, attach that to the wall, do all that stuff. Gotta get one more piece of rebar in, maybe 2 more on that wall that ties those together, and then same on the other side. Going on inside, let's see, we got the, there's my finger. Okay, so we got the braces in. So the bottom windows are already poured, they don't need any bracing. The top windows got the bracing in to support all of that concrete. We got a bracing done on the ends of those walls, so those walls are higher. If you notice, like right there, that part's higher. Man, I'm putting you in the sun again. Turn around and look at this one then. Okay, so right there, it's a little higher. We just run straight blocks out the end because we'll have a pony wall that extends out right through here. And I wanted concrete to actually attach that to. So we're going to run the concrete all the way to the flush edge. That's where that Advantech is. And that'll let us attach our pony wall across. Let's see, what else have we got done? We got all the scaffolding done. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. But we got the scaffolding done. We had to raise it up quite a bit. Again, putting you right in the sun. Wow. Okay, we had to raise it up quite a bit in order to get to the tall wall and be able to pour the concrete and not have the pump guy just right at eye level, right at mouth level with all that concrete splatter. So we got that raised up. Got raised up pretty much everywhere around here a little bit. Let's see, what else? I need to put a couple of vents in over there. That'll be our bathroom. It will have a 9 or 10 foot ceiling, so we'll have a little bit of attic, not accessible attic, but attic space above it. And so I'll run ductwork over and out kind of above that window for HRV and makeup air. And then on this wall, this will be the master closet, like right here. That's gonna be the pantry back over there. So this will also have a flat ceiling. And so I can get above it and put in, above that porch, I can put in 2 more vents, one for the exhaust of the HRV and for the exhaust for the kitchen fan. So I'll have those sleeved in through the styrofoam before we pour. And I gotta get that done today. But here is what's on the agenda for today. In part, these guys right here. All right, so these are pieces of Fox block with the screw plane still in them that we have made. And if you notice, they're slightly skewed. That is 2.5 degrees, which is 1/2 inch in 12, which is the slope of our roof. And so these are going to go inside of the top block of the concrete, of the Fox block, every 2 feet on center, and create a pocket for the joists to sit in. So this will be a negative of when the concrete pours, it'll have a little pocket in it. And they're the same width as a Fox block, which is 2 5/8, 2 3/8. I can't remember. Anyway, plenty for the bearing surface. It's more than what a joist hanger is for the I-joists. And so, you know, it'll definitely be sufficient there. And it just kept us from doing another ledger board and joist hangers and all of that. And I thought it would be stronger also. And that gets us to where the top of the concrete is right at the sheathing for the roof. It's a 2-part roof. I think I explained that in one of the other videos. What else are we doing today? I think that's about it. We're trying to get the garage ready to pour and get it leveled. And we are trying to get all of those blocks in. We're going to spray foam these in. So we'll put a little spray foam down this side right before we stick it in there, and then we'll take some 4-inch deck screws and screw it in. And basically the deck screws are there more to get the spray foam to cure and dry than it is to actually hold it, because I think the spray foam is going to do most of the holding on that. Oh, what else? I think that's it. I think we're ready to get going. We got all of the vertical rebars in. We still have to zip tie them so they're not flopping around during pour day. And then over on my office wall right here, the low wall, the verticals that we put in for the previous pour were actually sticking up out of the top. So instead of having to add more vertical rebar, we had to cut those off so that they were below the top edge of the concrete when we pour. So here we go. We're getting to work. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, well, I better take my shades off because he can't see them. Oh, come down. Alrighty then. Well, we have got the garage tacked down. And now it has to dry, and then we'll come back and we'll really glue it down after that. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we set up our laser level over there and set it up to where, if I can get down here, you guys got to suffer through the beeping as much as we did. Well, maybe not as much. It just gets really old. Okay, so here's the laser level that we got. It is a Hupar receiver and laser off of Amazon. It does okay. It doesn't do great in the sunshine, but it's not too bad. Okay, so you can tell just by tipping this a little bit, we're right at that level line, so that the fast beeping means that we're too low. If it's slow beeping, where is it? Slow beeping means that we're too high. And so you're looking for just that transition, and it's so fine that you hardly ever get the solid tone, but you get a solid tone if you get it right on. But if you can just tip it just a tiny bit and go from the fast beep to the slow beep, you know that you're right on the line. You got to make sure that when you are doing this, that your board, oh, I guess I should turn you around so you can see. All right, so that your board, see how much that just moving that board back and forth is actually changing the level. And if you're all the way out here on the end of your board, it's going to even make it worse. Well, also, the detector is that little light green strip. Can you see it? There we go. The light green strip. And so as you turn it this way, you're also changing that where that detector reads. And so you kind of got to be careful to make sure that you're plumb both ways in order to get a good reading. So we have 3 bricks stacked up here, and it makes the wall really rigid. So it's kind of hard to make a lot of change in the elevation. We are using shims, and you wedge the shims under, and you have somebody on one side, both sides of the wall, you'll pull the wall over, shove the shims under, and then set it back on it and hope that you're there. And you just keep going back and forth until you get everything level, and you do that every about 4 feet around the outside of it. And then we tap con some 2x4s onto the very bottom right in the corner so that we can keep it straight. We strapped it to the wall there. I'll have to put another strap on the inside just to help hold it. And then you just spray little dots of spray foam, right? I'll show you on the inside. So you spray dots of spray foam all the way around every place that you level it. And what that does is it glues it to the footer, but it does not make it heave. If you were to spray it full, you would actually lift the whole thing off of there when the spray foam expanded. So this is a way to get it to where you're just gluing it down, you're not actually lifting it. And then we put a string on there so that we could see, I don't know, can you see that string? You can kind of see the string. There you go. You put the string on a block. Put the string on a block, and then you take another block of that same thickness and you run it behind there, and that way you can tell if you're in or out. Oops, my beeper's beeping. If you just run the string straight on the wall, if the wall is at an arc, then the string just lays on the wall the entire time, and you can judge if the wall is away from the string, but you can't judge if the wall is pushing on the string. So by putting a block behind it, now you can judge if the wall is away from the string or towards the string by just getting the same size block. Okay, enough of that. So you can see there's our shimmed it up. Our footer was fairly level, but by the time you get the concrete poured in there and everything else, you need to adjust it, because we're within a 16th to an eighth everywhere on this wall, is what I would say, of being on the same plane as the laser level. Now I know this laser level has some amount of air to it, but we haven't reset it today, so at least we'll be the same air all the way across, and that'll set the tone, anyway, that'll set the tone for the entire garage wall. So, yep, that's what we got. And then I can show you these corners. We have our dimple mat coming around from the house. And then, can we look down here? There is a little cavity. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a gap in our step footer, between the step footer and the wall. And so all of that will get filled with concrete. But up here where the walls actually tie in, I wanted to actually be concrete on concrete. So we sawed and chipped away all of the styrofoam, and then the rebar we put through before we poured the wall. So this is all we're pouring the first time. Then we'll come back, restack more, get gravel inside of there, so that'll all be filled with gravel. Get gravel inside of there, get gravel on the outside, stack the rest of the wall, and then that will be our last wall pour, will be all of the garage. Okay, this has been a pretty decent level though. I've been happy with it. It'll even be better when we get inside and you can actually see the laser. Right now we're using the detector, but okay. Next up, we're putting the blocks in the wall. So we gotta figure all that stuff out now. Okay, 15 degrees strikes again. All right, so over there, see where the little washers and screws are, little circles? I don't know if you can see it.
It's a long ways away.
Anyway, those are holding in our little blocks that will create our joist pockets. And then as they come over to this wall, since this wall is 15 degrees out, instead of just being spaced every 2 feet, I got to do the hypotenuse, with 2 feet being the short side, not the real short side. The real short side's like real short, but 2 feet over here, and then the hypotenuse is going to be something a little longer, yeah, 15 degrees in between it, right? So that works out to be really close to 2 feet and 7/8. So when we came off the corner, the problem that we're running into is that instead of being in between a gap and then 2 feet later being in between a gap, it's not working out that way. Because we're not 2 feet, we're 2 feet and 7/8. So we started off down there where we're gonna have to take one of those blocks and probably cut it, slide it down over the top of one of these things, and then spray foam it to where it doesn't get concrete growing in there. So they're growing as we move across. So there's my last one. That's the center of the block. So the block will sit right here. This is the first one that's going to sit without having to jack with this tie. So yeah, anyway, back to 2 feet and 7/8, and we're going to see where these lay out before we finalize it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Needs to be that because we already got the other side installed.
Once you can put this in, and
There's
the corner rebar that
corner
we stuck
rebar
in here
is right in the same spot.